Good morning, gardeners, and welcome back to Grace Junction Homestead. Well, it is 7:30 and I am late. I try to be up by 5 and out here by 6. Anyway, so today we're going to talk about pollination and what you can do if you are struggling like we do on our homestead. As you can see, we grow a lot of squash around here. We love squash. We love to grow it. We love to eat it. We love to can it. We love all things squash. Unfortunately, we have pollination issues. We've got neighbors who love to use that 7 dust. That works so well to keep bugs away, but unfortunately, the problem with that is it keeps bugs away. When you kill your squash bugs with chemicals and your cucumber beetles and all the undesirable things, unfortunately, you're killing bees. You're killing butterflies. You're killing anything that could pollinate your squash. And we do everything as organically as possible on our homestead, but we're surrounded by people who don't. So we don't have bees here. We would really like to get some hives going, but that's not going to guarantee that our neighbors aren't going to kill our bees with their flowers. So here is our squash plant that we're going to be working on today. And if you'll notice, we have 2 different kinds of flowers. They look very different from the outside and from the inside. So your only ones that make a fruit are females. These are females. Do you see how they have a little fruit here just waiting to be pollinated? And you can see one here. And then, when the flower falls off, if it's pollinated, it's going to look like this guy here. But male flowers are just going to be a stem that shoots off and does not have a fruit. And then they also look different inside. This is a male flower, and this will be the inside of a female flower. Do you see how she's got all these here? Don't ask me for technical terms. It's been a little bit since I taught this in school. That you know how to properly identify male flowers and female flowers, you can pollinate. First thing you should know though, because I don't want you to get frustrated when your flowers first start popping out, is that in a healthy plant, you'll see male flowers first. And the reason they do that is they shoot off the male flowers to start attracting pollinators before it bothers putting off fruit. Because there's not much point in putting off a female flower or a fruit that has not yet, to a plant that hasn't attracted pollinators yet. So don't get frustrated if at the beginning of your season you only see male flowers. That's totally fine. It's normal. If you don't have any female flowers, go ahead and just nip those off and throw them in your salad because they're totally edible. And they're really pretty. Pretty anyway. If nothing else, just pop one behind your ear and look pretty in the garden. Take a selfie, Instagram it. Because those male flowers are going to do a whole lot more than just attract pollinators. And if you're watching this video, you probably have a problem with pollinators. So they're not going to do you a whole lot of good anyway. But once you start seeing those female flowers come on, then stop playing with your male flowers because you need them. All right, so here we go. This process is actually really easy. All you need is a Q-tip. You just put it in here and kind of swirl it around. And then, see, you get some pollen on there. Well, it is really hard to zoom in on. But it's just this fluffy, fuzzy, and basically what you're doing is just simulating what a bee would do. And you kind of just swirl it around on there. And you don't, have to poke it in or anything. It doesn't really matter. Maybe get a little more for the next one. And this will work if you have 2 different kinds of squash. It works fine to pollinate your fruits with different varieties, different kinds of squash. Of course, then you're going to end up with a hybrid. If you wanted to save the seeds for future use, you want to make sure that you do it from the same plant or the same kind of plant. If that doesn't matter, then it's not going to affect the fruit that you eat. So, you can pollinate one kind of squash with another kind. I'm losing the end of my stick here. fruit look like this, then you've got some pollination issues. Do you see how it starts out green and then it turns yellow toward the end? This is a fruit that has not been pollinated. Another obstacle to pollination is actually bugs themselves. You can see we've got an aphid right there. You see it? And a cucumber beetle right there. The problem you'll get with non-friendly bugs in your in your flowers is that they're going to run around and munch on things and kind of disrupt your pollen, displace it, so that when pollinators do come by, there's nothing there for them to get and to spread to the flowers where you need them. And so you'll end up with a bunch of sterile plants because you've got bugs going around disrupting your pollen. This hand pollination method works just the same on any kind of squash, cucumbers, melons, anything in that sort of family. If you have pollination issues just like I do, you'll have to be out here every day to hand pollinate because your window is one day. Flowers open one day. That is your fertilization period. So it takes some diligence, but it absolutely can be done. You know, whether you're growing out here in the garden and you don't have enough pollinators, or whether you're growing indoors somewhere and you have a block in the way where your pollinators can't get to your plants or can't find your plants, it can be done. If this video was helpful to you, or you think it might be helpful to other gardeners, please do share it. Give us a thumbs up, tell us what you think, and have a blessed day, guys.